Let's talk about something we all think we understand, but maybe we don't. Silence. We're not talking about just the absence of sound here. Nope. We're going to dive into silence as a skill, a form of power that you can actually develop through 7 pretty distinct levels. You know that feeling, right? You walk away from a chat just cringing, thinking, why did I just say all that? Or maybe you've tried to make a point, and the more you talked, the smaller you felt. It happens to all of us, and it's because we're tapping into a hidden truth. When we talk too much, especially when we're looking for someone else's approval, we're often just giving away our power. And here's the core idea, the thing to really let sink in. The loudest person in the room is usually the most predictable. And if you're predictable, you're easy to manage. Real power, well, it operates on a totally different wavelength. It gets that silence isn't empty space. It's a whole spectrum, one that can take you from a place of weakness to one of untouchable strength. So, let's start our journey at the very beginning, with the first 2 levels. This is where silence isn't a strength yet. It's more like raw potential, just waiting to be shaped into something more. And so, here we are at level 1. This is the kind of silence you don't choose. Maybe you're the quiet kid in a really loud family, or you're just naturally shy. It's easy to look at this and think it's a weakness, but it's not. Think of it like a block of marble before the sculptor gets to it. It's just raw material, full of potential, but it doesn't have any direction yet. This is the foundation everything else is built on. From that starting point, we evolve to a much more conscious kind of quiet, level 2. Okay, this is a huge turning point. Silence stops being something that just happens to you, and it becomes a choice. You start talking less because you're too busy watching. You realize that every conversation is a goldmine of data. Not just the words, but the tone, the body language, what people aren't saying. Listening becomes your secret weapon, a way of gathering intelligence that gives you a massive advantage. All right, now we're moving into the middle levels. And this is where silence really starts to transform from a passive thing into an active tool for control. Our next stop, level 3. This one is a total game changer. It's that moment you realize your emotions can be used as weapons against you. So you learn to contain them. And notice I said contain, not suppress. You feel everything, the anger, the frustration, the joy, but you just choose not to put it all on display. This makes you incredibly unpredictable, like a puzzle nobody can solve. And if they can't figure you out, they can't manipulate you. And this is a really, really critical distinction to make. Suppression is toxic. It's like burying poison in your backyard and hoping it just goes away. It doesn't. It just seeps into everything. Containment, on the other hand, is about acknowledging the feeling, looking it right in the eye, and choosing not to let it drive the car. One path makes you weak, the other is the quiet bedrock of real power. And now we level up again to level 4. So, building on that emotional control, silence now becomes a deliberate strategy. It's tactical. You start to understand that the less you say, the more your words actually mean. People literally lean in to hear you. They pay more attention. And here's how you see it in the real world. In a negotiation, your silence can make the other side so antsy that they start giving things up just to fill the quiet. In an argument, a well-timed pause can just suck all the air out of the other person's anger. And as a leader, when you speak less often, your words become an event. You don't have to ask for attention, you command it. Silence becomes this quiet, powerful force of control. Okay, so we've covered the external world. Now, the journey turns inward. These next few levels are all about finding a deep sense of internal alignment, a kind of unshakable stability. Which brings us to level 5. At this stage, the whole game moves inside your own head. You just stop needing things from other people. You don't need to explain yourself. You don't need to defend your choices. You don't need their approval. Criticism is just data. It's not a personal attack. And praise, well, praise is nice, but you're not hungry for it. You find your own center, and you realize you don't need anyone else to hold you steady. And this inner peace has this incredible side effect on the outside world, which takes us straight to level 6. At this level, your influence is practically effortless. You don't have to say a thing. Your quiet, centered presence has so much weight that it creates its own kind of social gravity. People around you just start to adjust. The frantic energy in a room calms down. Conversations get deeper. People give you authority without you ever having to ask for it. Your silence is literally reshaping the atmosphere around you. And now we've made it. We're at the final level, the absolute peak of this journey. This is where silence stops being a tool you use and becomes a state of total freedom.
This is the seventh and final level.
This is it, the mountaintop. Silence is no longer a strategy you employ, it's just who you are. Praise doesn't inflate you, insults don't touch you, and the chaos of the world can't pull you off your center. You become unreachable. Not because you've built up walls around yourself, but because all those noisy games the world plays, for status, for approval, for outrage, they just don't apply to you anymore. So when you look back at the whole thing, the pattern is just crystal clear. Loudness is a flash in the pan. It's a firework, it's bright, it makes a big scene, but it's over in a second and needs constant fuel. Silence is different. It's like a redwood tree. It grows slow, its power compounds over time, and it creates lasting change. It doesn't have to demand attention. It just is. And that right there is the ultimate takeaway. In a world that is completely addicted to noise, to hot takes, to instant reactions, true power isn't found in what's being said. It's found in the quiet, steady refusal to play those short-term games. In the end, silence doesn't just protect your power. It reveals who had it all along.